Shoo. I lied about my mom's illness to test my girlfriend. She left me. Am I the asshole? I've known Maya for 6 months now. We met at a mutual friends party, hit it off, and after a month, she moved in with me. We're on the same page about most things, except I've been keeping a secret. My mom's been battling cancer for the past year, but her doctor said it's stable. I still feel terrible about how I've kept it hidden from Maya because I didn't want her to feel like I was stuck in a bad family situation. So, when Maya started asking a lot of personal questions, I panicked. One Friday night, after a long day at work, I decided to test her loyalty. I texted her, "Hey, just found out Mom's terminal. She'll need a lot of care. I'm thinking of moving to Chicago to be there. Would love your thoughts." She didn't even call. She texted back in a short, flat tone. "What? That's awful. Are you sure? How did you find that out?" I tried to keep it casual and replied that she'd just heard it from the doctor. Maya was visibly upset. I could see the tears in her eyes. I tried to explain that I'd just heard about the diagnosis, but I hadn't told her yet because I didn't want to burden her. "I just need a moment," she said, then ended the conversation. The next day, she messaged me with a list of concerns. She said my lie was unfair, that I had manipulated her feelings for a test. She also mentioned that the whole thing made me doubt your honesty. I'm not sure if I should have come clean about my mom earlier. I was scared of losing Maya, but I also feel like she should have trusted me if we were serious. I didn't want her to leave because of my fear. Now she's gone, and I'm left with a pile of unanswered questions. Am I the asshole for lying about my mom's condition to test her? I texted my girlfriend, "This is it, we're over." The screen lit up with a blinking notification. My friend's pinging me. What happened? It was a Monday morning. I'd been staring at my phone for hours, and the thing that had been gnawing at me was finally at its breaking point. But why? I never thought my boyfriend would be the asshole. We dated for 3 years. He was the golden boy of my college, charming, good grades, always ready with a joke. The first time we kissed, I felt like I was falling for a storybook romance. He took me on spontaneous trips, baked me homemade cookies, and even introduced me to his quirky hobby, collecting antique spoons. Then, the first red flag appeared. He'd start calling my parents for small favors. I'd hear his voice over the phone, his words a little too casual, a little too smooth. "Hey, can you drop some stuff? It'll be fine," I asked. "What are you talking about?" He'd sigh. "It's nothing. I just need to get something from your mom's house. She left it on the porch." I assumed it was a joke. Later that night, I found a stack of my mother's unpaid bills in his backpack. My heart dropped. I confronted him. "What's going on?" he said. "It's my rent. I'm just borrowing from you because I've got an emergency." Like, he'd been living off my family's generosity. That wasn't the worst. A week later, I accidentally opened my boyfriend's phone, thinking I was about to text him. There, in the My Life photo album, were pictures of me in our apartment, my face half covered by his hands. In the comments, I saw a text thread. "Got it. Keep it hidden. We don't want the family knowing." He'd been using me as a cover for what? He'd been living in our house without paying rent, stealing money, even borrowing my credit card to fund a secret gambling habit. He'd been a con man, using my family's trust to keep his web of lies afloat. When I finally confronted him, he broke down. He told me he was in debt, that he'd taken advantage of my love, and that he had no other way out. I could see the fear in his eyes, but that didn't make me feel any better. I realized I'd been a pawn in his game, and that's when I hit send on that breakup text. So, Reddit, AITA for ending things with a guy who used my family as collateral? I'm still trying to figure out how to get back what he stole, but that's another story. I've been dating my boyfriend, Alex, for 14 months. We're both in our late 20s and pretty happy. I've got a tight circle of friends. He's got a pretty close-knit family. Alex is the eldest son of a very traditional family. His parents are big on family obligations and social expectations. 2 weeks ago, Alex's dad announced that his birthday is in 3 weeks, and he's planning a big family dinner. Everyone has to come. It's a tradition. Alex calls me at 6:30 p.m., all smiles. "Can't wait to show you how it's done." I'm excited, but my brain flips to the only thing that's bothering me. I'm the first person who's never been invited to one of Alex's family gatherings, and apparently that's a red flag. He sighs. "You don't know what that means. You're not invited. That's normal. You're new." I tell him I don't feel good about it. He shrugs. "It's tradition. If you're not invited, you're not considered part of the family. I get it. But you're not being rude. I'm not trying to hurt you." He ends the call. I'm left staring at the phone. 3 days later, Alex surprises me with a new pair of cufflinks. "Because you're my girlfriend." I'm elated, and I can't help but think, maybe if I just accept the status quo, everything will be fine. I tell him, "I'll accept that you're not invited, but I also need to feel like I belong." He's quiet, then says, "I've been working on this." The next week, Alex shows up to a charity event with me. He introduces me to his parents, who smile politely. I think, maybe I was too harsh. He's hugging his mother, laughing. I start to feel like I made a mistake. On Sunday, Alex's dad brings me a bouquet for his birthday, and he says, "I heard about the situation. My heart stops." He says, "I know you're nervous about our future. I know I've never invited you to a family dinner. I think it's because of me. I'm sorry." He says he wants to change this. We decide to give it a shot. A month later, Alex's dad invites me to the dinner, just for the first time. It's awkward, but we all sit together. He says, "I'm glad we worked through it." We all laugh. Now, I'm 30, and my girlfriend is 29. We're planning a trip to Italy next month. Alex is the one who booked it. I'm writing a blog about this whole drama. Am I the asshole for initially rejecting Alex's lack of family invitation? I can't even explain why I'm still mad at myself. A week ago, I scored a brand new 6-inch MacBook Pro on a crazy deal, all the high-end design software loaded, and I was ready to make a living doing what I love, freelance graphic design. It was my dream, and I'd been doing it for 3 years, still a few clients a month, still living on a tight budget, but still, me. 2 days later, my girlfriend, Lily, walks in, eyes flashing with excitement, and something that felt like judgment. "Wow, that's amazing," she says. "But if you're going to keep chasing those gigs, we'll never get that big house in the suburbs." She starts listing the mortgage payments, the car loan, the endless stream of needs and must-haves. She talks about how a stable 9-to-5 job would give us both security. I let her talk, nodding, but my stomach tightened. "Do you understand what I'm asking?" Lily asked, voice a mix of plea and insistence. "Quit the freelance chaos. Get a corporate job, something reliable. That's the only way we can move forward. If you want to keep this dream, we're going to be stuck in a cycle of debt." I'm a creative, and the idea of putting my art on a treadmill feels like betrayal to myself. I told her I'd consider it, that I'd still want to keep a side hustle. Lily's face fell. "If you're not willing to sacrifice for us, we're not going to stay together." I wanted to laugh, to say we could compromise, but the thought of her saying this made my throat dry. The next day, she called me. "I'm leaving." She had already started packing. She'd even moved her work phone to her new apartment. I'm left with my laptop, the stack of unpaid invoices, and a feeling that I've let a relationship crash over a question of career and compromise. Now I'm scrolling through Reddit, hoping to find someone who can tell me if I was the asshole for refusing to quit my passion and give her a stable job. I love her. I love my art. Maybe I did make a mistake, but does that make me a jerk? Am I the asshole? I'll admit it to you now. I was the one who decided I'd rather be a responsible adult than a dream-chasing, half-a-sober band member. That's why my girlfriend, Jess, left the band she'd been part of for years and quit her stable marketing job to move in with me, and then... Here's what happened. Jess had been playing in a punk band for a decade. The last few months, she's been tired of the 9-to-5 grind and has been pouring every spare minute into her music. She talked about a tour in a few months, a record deal on the horizon, a future in which she's traveling and making music. She said she'd suspended her job for a year. I said, "I get it, but what if that deal falls through?" I said, "I've got savings, I've got a house, I've got a future. This is a huge risk." We didn't argue. We talked. I kept saying, "It's a career gamble, Jess. You're putting everything on a rock band that can break." She didn't say that. She said, "I'm not putting everything on a band. I'm putting everything on the chance to live my life." She wanted a small, creative life. I wanted a stable, responsible life. It was a clash of values. She moved in, kept the band in the background, started packing her gear, and the band's drummer left, citing my interference. I gave her an ultimatum. Either I put my life on hold for her music, or she's not my girlfriend, Jess said. "I can handle both. I'm not losing anything if we stay together. I'll just put the band on hold for now." I nodded, and I let her sleep over for a few nights. Then the big thing happened. Jess got a call from her band. They were ready to sign. They wanted a 2-year commitment, touring across the country. Her manager said the contract had a clause that if she didn't tour, she would lose all her shares. Jess had to decide. She went to our apartment, turned off the lights, and left a note on the fridge. "I'm leaving. I'm not going to quit my job for your fear." She left with her guitar case, her half-finished painting, and a suitcase. I was left with a house full of her memories and a cold, empty apartment. I called her. She said she's moving back to her parents' house for a month. I'm a little shocked. I asked if we should be together again. She said no. I'm left with a decision. Did I push her away by insisting on responsibility, or did I protect my future by telling her she was chasing a dream? So, Reddit. Am I the asshole for making my partner quit her job and band? Or did I just try to keep a sanity I felt was threatened?